welcome to another riveting episode of Minding Our Business. I am Jess, and I'm with...
I am Jonesy, and the bar is set high because this episode is going to be, and I quote, riveting.
Riveting. So today we're going to talk about the inner critic and kind of how it affects your personal life, how it affects your business life, and kind of where it shows up for you in your business life, and where the inner critic starts. First, how you feeling today? Drop one word. How you feeling?
Well, since this is definitely a different day from when we were recording last time, I'm feeling contemplative. Contemplative.
All right. I'm feeling grateful right now.
Good word.
I'm grateful to be here with you, and I'm grateful that we're able to share and hopefully provide some value or strength to someone. Right, but the inner critic. When I think of the inner critic, I think of my internal self telling me I'm not good enough, breeding shame to myself, judging myself. So what is your inner critic? When I say that, if I said, hey, Dan, what's your inner critic? How would you respond to that?
So mine is definitely an actual articulated voice, which is interesting because I've heard a lot of people say they don't really have an inner monologue or an inner voice, yet they have the same feelings of an inner critic, where I guess it's more emotional than it is verbal. But mine is 100% verbal. I basically have a Mean Girls version of myself inside my head.
Mean Danielle.
Yeah, Karen. Mean Danielle. I have Mean Danielle inside my head.
You know what? We're naming your inner critic Mean Danielle.
Mean Danielle.
And when you're feeling that critic come, tell Danielle to get away.
Got it.
Danielle?
Shoo.
Not today, honey.
Shoo.
Go back to Regina George and the rest of the first, okay? I like that. We named your critic.
Yep.
Danielle.
My inner critic is Danielle.
Yeah.
And that has nothing to do with whether it's a woman or not. My God, I'm gonna get canceled in episode 2.
Now we're getting into gender stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, I identify as a sad entrepreneur.
A sad entrepreneur.
I'm not sad though. That's like the thing. Like, once you get a hold of the fact that you know you have an inner critic and where it comes from, like that inner critic isn't your voice. It's a voice that you heard probably as a child, whether it was school, whether it's your parents. I think me and you kind of talked about how your inner critic, you think it came from when you were growing up. You were in school. We were getting bullied. Think about in school, like if you get an award, that tells you you're good. If you don't get an award, what does that say? You're not good?
You're not good enough. Perhaps,
so inner critic, like it's not just like adults thinking they're not good enough, or like a young girl being like, I'm not good enough for that. It's a lot deeper. And
it comes from external factors.
Yes.
Everywhere. Which is annoying because there certainly are a lot of external critics in this world who may and will judge. So how horrible is it that we internalize that and then keep reinforcing it? So we can't stop the outsiders from being critics. But what we've started at least figuring out and getting better at is mitigating that.
Yeah.
Quelling that voice, telling Mean Danielle, shoo, we got things to do. That's another rhyme.
Danielle.
Yeah.
Danielle, shoo, we got things to do. I actually really like that. I bet you when you're feeling shitty and your critic's coming, when you just say those words like Danielle, shoo, got work to do, it'll just make you smile. And you'll be like, F Danielle.
That's part of my toolbox now.
Daniel's here.
Yeah, Daniel's here.
Danielle. Bye. Right?
Move along.
No, I like this for you. I like naming this critic. I'm going to name mine.
Do you have a name yet, or do you want to marinate on that?
I don't have a name yet. I'm going to name it, though. I'm going to name it.
Okay. We'll workshop it.
I'm going to marinate the name of my inner critic.
I mean, we both have names that have gender neutrality. Dan and Jess.
Jesse.
Danny. Yeah.
No, yeah, we're gender neutral.
Yes.
This podcast is for gender neutral people too. For
gender neutral, by gender neutral.
Yes, we're for everybody. Except if now that'll get you canceled. I was going to say, nah,
We're not for assholes.
we're not.
Actually, we
We're
are.
also not for people who like dressing like cats.
Yeah, true.
Or are we?
We're not against them. We're not against them.
Not.
But you have to question, is that the best way to present yourself? I'm all for expression of who you are and what you want to do. But at the same time, there are certain contexts where that does not benefit you. And why put yourself in that position?
Yeah.
Well, that derailed, but
Yes,
it is very pertinent.
And I almost kept going with it, but I know it's not a good topic.
That's right.
But inner critic, we'll go back to it. What do you think the purpose of your inner critic is?
It's self-defense.
Protection.
Absolute self-defense against your inner psyche, your ego,
Yep.
all of that.
And I think once people start to learn that and become self-aware, it's easier to shut down your Danielle.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this person's not real. It's not even my own voice.
Even better, leverage it perhaps into solid decision making, where you can take multiple inputs, Danielle being one of them, and faced with a new uncertain situation, and applying that to, is this the best action I can take, or what should I do? And maybe Danielle's input is valid, but only when taken in a committee, and which is, by the way, yeah. I have no diagnosis of multiple voices inside my head, but there's definitely a lot of versions of the one.
Yeah, Danielle, Danny, Jonesy.
So Danielle, thanks for the input. We will let that be an input on a deciding factor.
Danielle, don't bother Dan.
Now's not the time. Yeah,
get out of here. I would say that for me to share a business side of the inner critic, for me, definitely comes with kind of feeling like talking money and like feeling confident in myself, being like, I'm for this. Mm-hmm. I've definitely gotten more confident about it, but I'm also that person, like, I want my clients to like see every bit that they can, and if I can be helpful a little bit, I would love to do that. But then in doing that, I neglect myself and my own family. Okay. But
meaning you sacrifice leaving money on the table with no commission.
My inner critic would sacrifice me putting out what I'm worth.
Okay.
Because was it a fear of your client leaving? Is that it?
Well, any number of fears. One could be the fear of rejection. Two is the client leaving or not converting, and how much time have you invested into marketing this house, listing this house, showing this house, it's commission. So it's all or nothing in commission based. So putting all that work in for zero return, you have some actual justifiable defenses going on.
Yeah.
But you want to leverage that, but you don't want them to hinder you from taking any action at all.
They say, a lot of in this business it is, if you're not going to have the hard conversation with someone, another agent's going to.
Yes.
And I feel like I'm there now, but like I am now a competent agent that will show up and be like, this is what I do. It's not negotiable. Like, this is what I'm bringing to you. But for a while, I looked like people would run me around, do whatever. But, I think just kind of goes to like a lack of boundary again.
It does. And systems versus boundaries. And you're creating better systems within your real estate business to weed out those who are not going to convert. Talking marketing and business, conversion is the sale. Conversion is the sale. Or the listing in your case, which is a sale anyway, but weeding disqualifying to begin with. And I'm not using disqualifying to mean a negative, but rather you niche down in a certain way that you appeal to the clients that you're most appealable to. Mm-hmm. When you first start out, we all have to do some jobs and gigs.
The grunt work.
Yeah. And non-ideal clients, typically. Yeah. If anybody finds a way around that, I'm all ears, but that's typically how you have to get in. Either doing some gratuitous work, free work, non-ideal clients, and then you repeat the process of working with your ideal client, which circles back full cycle into the self-worth and the self-critic, the inner critic, because when you're learning and trying to solve problems for somebody who's not your ideal client, they're going to question everything you do. You're going to question everything you do. When you're able to repeat success for a certain specific type of client, a certain area for listing, certain marketing, certain industries we've really honed down marketing in. You can walk into the next meeting with somebody cold and know you can help them out. You can know you can solve their problem, thus quelling the inner critic. But it's that cycle of getting there. That's where the
I think starts with
the problem
imposter
lies.
syndrome.
Mhm.
Is just feeling like you're not qualified even when you are, or like if you're. I could be in a room with like a bunch of realtors, and I even if someone did no business and I did, I would be like, oh, like, can I like be in this room? Like I don't feel like I like
Yeah.
should. But I also think for me that comes down to like the lack of identity that I was able to like zone in for myself. Um, but I think I'm definitely doing better since I've been able to zone in on who I am. So I
So,
think something that helped me with my inner critic is discovering myself.
mhm. And then what? What is that? Discovering yourself. What does that mean?
I think being proud, not showing visibly who I am without fear of judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think I mentioned this. I just go through like I've gone through phases where people like I'm like there's no like everybody hates me. Like why? Um, so I lost my train of thought.
That's okay. So,
Because I started thinking about.
is it
I'm sorry. I started getting an inner critic.
is it happening now?
Yeah, because I was like, oh, like in my mind, I was like, you're really sounding like an idiot right
You're
now.
not. You're sounding great because this is 1000% relevant.
Yeah.
So we're going to get you back on track with what have you done to self discover yourself. Discover yourself. Self discover yourself. You've discovered who you are. That's where you were.
I discovered who I am, and it all comes from the amount of therapy that I did
Mhm.
and the self awareness and learning why I do and think the way that I do. Um, and I think for the inner critic, once you realize it's not your voice, and I'll constantly say, like, I'm like being like, if I'm like thinking about something negative in the car, I'll start going like this in front of your face. I'm like, stop, stop.
Shoo, shoo, shoo.
So like I'm shooing my inner critic.
Yeah.
Like, no, 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 no. Do I do that all the time? Like inner critic sometimes wins, right? But that's definitely one thing that I do is shoot, shoot, shoot. Which sounds really dumb and stupid.
Not on this show.
But I'm telling you, if you ever find your mind, like there have been times where I'm going and I will literally just start going like this. Like my mind's actually shaking. Like I'm shaking it up, being like, I think we're gonna think about something different.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but is that not some form of mindfulness or at least self-awareness to create a pattern disruption?
Yes, it is. That's my it goes through like the mind flip 5 4 3 2 1 we kind of talked about is like getting yourself back in the room.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just kind of so I think when you're thinking about negative things, you're like dissociating a little bit. So it's always good to get up a little in the face.
Yeah.
Which sounds super dumb. Even just talking to yourself out loud. Like telling Danielle, you're Danielle.
Yeah.
Danielle, shut the fuck up. Like
here's
am I
one.
allowed to say that word?
Hey, yeah, you are. Hey, Danielle, your voice doesn't work in the real world. Mine does.
Yes.
So sit down.
Yes. Like kick that bitch.
Yeah, I just thought of that right now.
But yeah, I think something that's really important for me, just going off of like talking about the inner critic, is actually bringing me to like my family and wanting so badly to know how to control my end so that I can pass it to my kids.
Awesome.
So that when they grow up and obviously they're going to be entrepreneurs, they're going to be well-rounded entrepreneurs with an amazing mindset and the amazing emotional like intelligence tools keep themselves grounded.
Do you see entrepreneurial tendencies in them now?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
My oldest like wants to take her lemonade stand down to the canal and she wants to like make bracelets and like sell them.
Oh my God.
So she's in it. And like this is off topic, but since now that I do what I do and I know what I know, I'm not huge on college.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to push my kids into like creating something like entrepreneurial so that they can my kids will be this is like this comes off like cocky, but it's not. It's just to tell people really the power that I believe in real estate. Is that both of my kids have a house already. And
Okay.
that's going to be for them to, if they want to go to college, that's great. Sell the house, go to college. Or it can be their asset.
Well, that's okay because you just teed me up so hard right now.
Really?
Like I'm either gonna well, it's on a tee, so I guess a base hit or golf if you're into golf stuff. I'm a hockey player. I don't know these things, but all right. So the real estate thing. I mean, this is what Dale Carnegie and Warren Buffett. So two old white guys. And if you know about wealth in America,
white guys and they're
old white guys, yeah. But we can listen to what they have to say and try to replicate it. Real estate is the path to becoming a millionaire. That's why I'm a real estate investor.
Generational wealth.
Well, I mean, like that's giving you a head start. Yeah, creating generational wealth, 100%. Yeah,
so it's a hope that my kids will in turn be like, "Wow, my parents gave me generational wealth."
Yeah. So there's the business tip of the day. But so your kids have been identified as having the entrepreneurial spark.
Yeah.
And wherever that takes them, that's fine. You're nurturing it. I didn't have that benefit. And this is not a blame my parents thing. It's more of blaming the time period, blaming the traditional education system of the 90s.
Blaming the boomers.
Blaming the boom. Yeah, blame all the boomers. No, because we have boomers watching. Boomer is a mindset. Boomer is a
best parents.
Boomer is a mindset. It is not.
Oh.
I know plenty of boomers who are actually like in their 60s and 70s who act more like Gen X and millennials. It's boomers a mindset. And it was pick a path. Go to college. Take out a loan, go to college and stick to the path. Well, that was back when a house cost the same as a box of raspberries and one household income could buy a house, 2 cars, a vacation. And if the second income wanted to work a part-time job to get some extra money for whatever, that's fine. Well, the economy doesn't work like that anymore. Also, I was never suited to be in a path. I'm a problem solver. I like tech and I like creativity. That has entrepreneur written all over it from the beginning. That wasn't nurtured. Oh, well, BFD. I'm working it now 20 years too late, not too late, 20 years late. But that's what led to my inner critic of I either don't like doing this, therefore I don't want to, or I'm trying something that could be productive and could be gainful and remunerative. Wow, what a big word that my stammering ass can say. Remunerative. But not excelling at it, therefore receiving external critiques, which then feed back into Danielle, preventing me from going forward or experimenting and trying other things. And that halted me for years and years and years, feeds into anxiety. So that's where it comes from for me. As a kid, I was into a lot of different stuff. And that's, I will say about my parents, they were encouraging me to try a lot of different stuff. But I was fickle and didn't really stick to too much. And that part just kind of fell apart. I didn't fit it. I'm massively into playing hockey. I'm 40. Well, I'm 41 now. Crap. I'm 41.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, thanks. It's scary and it'll happen to you. I am a better hockey player now at age of 41 than I was all through high school.
That's good.
Because I didn't apply myself. But I didn't fit in with the hockey kids because I was all into like computers and tech and stuff like that and building websites. And then like all the techie kids were like, that idiot's, he plays hockey. So like I didn't fit in with anybody. I knew a lot of people, but I wasn't like really friends with a lot of people or in particular circles to develop anything particular. So that fed back in.
I get you. So you were a floater. You knew a lot of people, but
Yeah.
you weren't in one specific group that was like, this is my crew.
Right.
I float around about.
But I was also the
Find
first to
your
be,
identity.
I was the first to be like tossed aside and last to be invited for that reason as well, especially in high school.
Yeah. We kind of talked about the school system a little bit. And you were talking about bullying, kind of like starting like the inner critic for you in school.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned that you didn't think that the schools handled it well, and that what were you kind of saying about that?
They did not. And, so I endured some rounds of bullying when I was particularly in middle school. And this is like imprinted on my mind. I remember the day I stood back up and punched the kid in the face on the school bus. And everybody cheered. I don't know. I guess a couple of people did, but it did. You heard the record screech. Records children are what. It is a final modality of music conveyance. The bus driver has to write a report, objective report about what happened. Bus driver went to bat for me. He's like, yeah, this kid was getting picked on all year, and he beat the crap out of the other kid. Principal actually wanted to have charges pressed against me through the school.
I cannot stand the way that our everything in our system broke. The laws broke, but I truly feel like at one point in like college, I think that everyone should just be nice to each other. Like, why? I don't get it. Like, I feel like I've always been a nice kid. Like, I don't understand the bullying thing.
It comes from external pressures, usually.
I had this thing where I was like, I would love to start a bullying campaign where we go to schools, have assemblies, bring someone up who's getting bullied, bring their bully up in front of everybody. What's going on? Right?
I'm not against it. I would like to learn more about that.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it as a group. Like, what's the issue here?
Yeah.
But I do feel like it's the kids that are getting like that finally stand up to somebody, or the ones that are getting like, oh, like that. I feel like the kids getting bullied are probably a little bit more emotional. Then it comes off like they're the ones that are the problem, but they're like being pushed to.
And there's always
shooters.
Yeah. Listen, that's why
people are bullied, and then like they're the awfulest people in the world. It's like it could be preventable if they're helping people before they get to the point of truly feeling like they need to do something.
So we're doing our part to remove all stigma about talking about this stuff and whatnot, but that didn't exist in the 90s for sure. My parents, to their credit, went to bat for me. They're like, yeah, no, we taught him karate, so that way when this happens, he can beat the crap out of a snot-nosed kid. Yeah. And now, 25 years later, I feel bad for the snot-nosed kid because there's a reason he was acting that way to me. Yeah. Do I harbor that against him now? Of course not. Like, even if it was just the external environmental pressures of school, of society, that's the way he knew how to act out. But yet the system allowed it to happen. And, zero tolerance policies, all that's why it is. So we create awareness, we create stuff, we create acceptance, and then it removes that at the stem. It gets rid of that at the stem.
Yeah. So it's crazy. Everything really is interconnected. Like, whatever you're experiencing in middle school is probably going to be something that comes back up again in life. And
that's why I said I was feeling contemplative at the beginning of this episode, because that's how mind works. My mind works is with connections, and I'm a master synthesis in taking like learnings or any facts or whatever from one thing and applying it to something completely different. I didn't think I was going to go off on my middle school tangent today, but it's completely formative of how I act the way I do today.
And it's you.
And business impact. Yeah. I could have started this business 15 years earlier if it wasn't for the inner critic, if it wasn't for me going down other career paths that I shouldn't have to begin with. And the clients who we masterfully serve now, they could have gotten a head start. We could have more of them. And you should be making money doing the best for your target audience, for your clients.
Yeah.
And that's what society is. If making art for somebody makes you feel good and they enjoy it, you should be making money doing that.
Well, that's the whole other thing is like everything comes down to money.
Yes.
So a lot of people, like, I feel blessed that I can do what I love. A lot of people can't say the same.
Well, at marketing agency near you, we can help you at least bridge that gap.
Oh.
Do something you tolerate for money. Not tolerate, but like don't hate. There are ways to do that. There are a lot of ways to do that.
Don't hate for money, but nothing legal.
Right.
We don't promote illegal things.
We do not.
So how do you feel like your inner critic is now? Right, like you're saying today. Here's my inner critic.
Mm-hmm.
Describe it. Is it existing?
Yes.
Does it exist only in business?
No.
It exists in personal.
Yes.
What's a personal critic that you have for yourself? What's Danielle saying to you about yourself?
On a bad day?
On a bad day.
On a bad day is that look at yourself. You got fat again.
And what is now that you have this new tool that you named Danielle? What are you going to say?
Well, Danielle, unlike you, I can go to the gym about it. So you can keep wallowing in your own self-deprecating stew while I take action.
Bam. Healed. After the second episode.
Yep.
We got the inner critic down.
She's got a name.
She's got
an MO.
I'll challenge our listeners. Name your inner critic. Comment it below. Let's talk to your critic. Let's shut them down.
It doesn't have to be a derivative of your name, but that wouldn't hurt because it's
Yeah,
funny.
it doesn't have to be your name.
Yeah.
Like I can name mine Benjamin.
Right.
Benjamin.
Benjamin.
You get out of here, Benjamin.
Like me and Danielle and Bad Benjamin, or Benjamin the Bully.
Benjamin and Danielle.
Oh, there's two.
Now, I'm definitely going to name mine. I actually think that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. That's an interesting takeaway from this episode that we did not plan going into this.
Interesting take on this episode is naming your inner critic. Whenever they're talking to you, tell them to go away. If they're in your mind, shake them up, shake them out. This is not stuff that I don't know if this is real psychology. No, shake it out, shake it out. This might be my own thing. I'm going to go with it.
Well, it's not clinical, but if it's the way your mind's working, it is psychology.
Shake it out. You gotta do it. You gotta bad thought. Shake it. You're not doing it. You got it.
Bad thought. Shake it out.
See? Right? So that's your takeaway. That's your takeaway, your tip for the day. Yeah. Got anything else?
Wow. I don't know how I'm going to top if you got a bad thought, shake it out.
I don't think you can. I think that we feel many people. But in all seriousness, really naming the inner critic and being able to try and distract your mind for yourself and your business is really important. And I think understanding yourself, if you have to dig in your past to find out how you can change today, it's just important. And I'm glad we're talking about the inner critic because we're naming it. It's an inner critic. It's not just like, oh, I'm having bad thoughts. Like there's someone in there. Mm-hmm. Danielle's in there, and she's telling you she's fighting with you. There
can be a lot of bad thoughts, and an inner critic is one of them. And now that's one that we address so we can mitigate. Mm-hmm. And where I see it come up a lot, including myself, and now part of what we do as an agency is we create consultancy businesses from other people. Like we help them quit their job and create their own consultancy business, is the failure to launch. And it's 1000% driven by the inner critic. And instead of, you have the old phrase, you have to put yourself out there. You really do, or at least launch. And we go with the minimum viable implementation, like a minimum viable product. But that's the first iteration of your business. Because if it does fail, so what? So what? The market is the critics. That's subjective, but it doesn't have to reflect what your inner critic says, and vice versa. Because the market's the one that's paying you money. Danielle and Benjamin are not paying you money. They're not paying you money. The market is. So that's what we do is help you launch by overcoming the critical thoughts. And if the first thing doesn't stick, we don't call that a failure. We call that an A/B test.
You love A/B tests.
I sure do.
Dan and Danielle love A/B tests.
I will say that for Danielle. I leverage her for her input and her criticism doesn't have to be bad. An inner critic doesn't have to be bad. It's something that should be leveraged. And that's one of my favorite words is leverage. And I use it.
Collaboration.
Yeah.
I'll share something that actually Will Dennis from Unscripted Productions.
Unscripted Productions, great guy.
He said this when I went, he did a thing for the YBA for us. He said, you stop being creative when you care what other people think. Mm. And that just got me. It's like, yes, my inner critic cares what other people think. I'm not being who I should be. So that's my big thing. Like I keep that in my mind all the time. Because like I want to be creative. Like that's what I thrive on. So I love that he said that. So that's a takeaway.
That's perfect. Yeah. So don't try to make everybody so happy. Make yourself happy first.
Make yourself happy. No one else. Right?
No one else's opinion of you matters. Exactly. Yes. Everybody matters. Everybody matters.
Really?
You listener matter.
Cool. Well, what are we gonna next? We're probably gonna have a guest on.
Yeah. So next episode starts with having some pro guests to back up this drivel we're talking about here.
There's two people that want to talk business and mindset. But we will catch you guys next time. Don't forget to drop your inner critic's name in the comments below.
Mindinghour.com.
Sneeze.